Hilary DeCesare. Welcome to the Positioning to Profit podcast. I am so excited to have you here. Y'all that are watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on your walk, you're in for a super duper treat. And if you don't mind, Hilary, I'm going to brag on you a little bit because there is a killer quote about your book, Relaunch, Spark Your Heart to Ignite Your Life, from none other than John Assaraf. So he's a big influence once upon a time. In short, he says, if you are ready to break free, be happier, healthier, wealthier, to manifest more impact, more contribution, more happiness, more of everything that you want to expand your skills and awareness, Hilary DeCesare's life-changing book is indispensable.
Patty,
so there you go.
I mean, thank you.
Oh my God, it's so exciting to have you here. The reason is because as I was prepping a little bit, I always like to kind of dig and look around and what is the theme of this particular person. I know you and I have crossed paths being in a group before, and we work with the same people, and it's just so beautiful.
We were in a mastermind.
We were in a mastermind. That was 2019. So 2019. Back in the day. And I feel like
look at you now, girl. Wow. So glad to know you.
Like right back at you, right back at you. I mean, you have so many cool accolades. You're doing lots of media. And in essence, the theme of relaunch is what we're talking about today. I'm so happy you're here. I can't wait to share with the audience just how impactful I see it as a movement, your movement is. So tell us a little bit about how did relaunch come to be?
You know what? First off, thank you again for having me because, we've known each other now for years, and I have just always respected you. I love what you're doing. And I keep saying to you, we are going to work together, and we are going to work together.
You did say that in 2019. I know, but
I did.
So in our own zones, right? And it's like, but as soon as your people reached out and said, Hilary, I'm like, are you kidding? 100% yes to the podcast. So it's so good. So good to cross paths with you again.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone is going through some form of a relaunch right now, whether it's personal or professional, even globally, we're relaunching, right?
Yes.
And so when I think of a relaunch, I think of it's any transition. And by the way, we have great relaunches too. People always think like it's the real negative things in life. But this all came to be because I did, I grew up and my chops came out of high-tech Oracle, Silicon Valley. I was there almost 10 years. And about, I'd say even, 20 plus years ago, I decided that entrepreneurship was for me. And I had always had the bug, but now it was really a time to say it's now or never. And I got out of corporate. I made the leap, and I did it because on the outside was not a reflection of what was going on the inside. And I call it the visible was not mapping to the invisible. And I was going through a divorce. I was trying to raise my 3 little kiddos. I was out, trying to raise money for one of my businesses. I was literally getting myself sick, and I ended up getting melanoma. I felt like I called it corporate guilt initially. It was like I wasn't doing what I thought I should be doing when I was at the office. When I should be home. When I was home, I was thinking I should be at the office. And it was just this battle that I was going through. And I realized soon enough, I started a business with another woman called White Space Inc. Inc is the INK. And it was like the idea was, where are you? What are you doing? And how are you going to make success for yourself? Because it's not going to be hand delivered. Nobody's going to be like, the night, we as women were taught, hey, the big, white horse with the prince is going to come in and just, here it is. It's so exciting. And then we all realized soon enough that that's not going to happen. And I call it getting off of the struggle bus. Once you realize that you're on the struggle bus and that everything we are interpreting it as it has to be tough, it has to be a challenge. Guess what? That was, again, a bunch of false things that were fed to us. And I have to say, do you remember that commercial, Anjali? You could bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. and never
Yes.
let you forget you're a man. I mean, and she was in all forms of her working outfit, her suit. Then she was in, her cocktail dress that was all sparkly. I mean, that's what we grew up with. And so of course, we start to feel like we're failures when we are not moving into that next level of success. Like, why are we not where we thought we'd be at this point? And
Right.
so Relaunch really came out of this about 4 years ago. And it was after I had, like, somebody has said, my God, Hilary, you've had a lot that's happened to you. My mom had just passed.
Yeah.
My dad had, then passed, and just all these different things. And I thought, you know what? I had learned and been successful at leveraging the lean startup, which was this process. And I thought, you know what? It's not just launching. It's like at our age, it's a relaunch because we have so much wisdom inside of us. And so I have to tell you the best story. I am in Las Vegas. I am in a concert, and the wonderful, huge, phenomenal Diana Ross is on stage.
Mhm.
And she raises her hand and she's fluffing her hair, and I'm doing the same. And I'm like, I need this woman to do something pretty impactful for me. And there was a moment where I'm like, all right, now the tide has changed. And I raised my hand and she then raised hers. And I knew it had finally happened. It had switched from her owning the energy on stage to now she's focused on my energy. And what I'm going for at that concert is to get her to meet my mom, who had only a few months left to live.
Oh my
And
gosh,
it
Hilary.
worked. And I thought, you know what? Here is the final icing on the cake. If I can have this happen, then anybody can learn the process that I use to get them whatever they're trying to get in life, personally and professionally.
Oh my God. First of all, chills up and down my entire body when I heard you say that, because talk about setting the intention, talk about using your will and the energy and all these beautiful things that we've come to know and understand through this whole process. Because I know that you're just as much of a personal growth junkie as I am.
No
And
doubt.
you've made a career out of it. And it's just been so impactful. And the one thing that I wanted to really convey is how much I appreciate the theme of relaunch, because to your point, when what you said is that people have a negative connotation like relaunch, like somehow you didn't do it right the first time. Whereas the way that you position to profit, I was like, oh my God, she's really making it sound like a new opportunity. And it made it so exciting when you can think about the fact that with the shit show that we've endured with
Mm.
COVID and everything that's transpired, can we fully agree that we're never the same? And so you leaving corporate once upon a time, me leaving corporate once upon a time, we were kind of ahead of the game in that sense. Like we had that inkling and you kind of lean into it, even if it's uncomfortable AF. And so
Mm.
now it's showing people like you don't have to be in this dead end job that you don't like, regardless of the title, because so many people are are confirmed, like their identity is confirmed by the title or the paycheck or the stock options. Like I totally get that.
Yeah,
Or thinking,
exactly. I got it too. Title
yeah,
mattered. I was lost when I left the company. I was
yeah,
lost when I went out, and I'm like,
yeah,
my title, like I'm CEO of my company, but my company, I'm creating it, I'm building it. Yes, it's
yes.
hard.
Or the guy that says, I want to, the other day, you'll never, I saw, because I'm in this other group, it's a copywriter, and he was a lawyer. And he went to Harvard, became a lawyer, and now he loves to write about baking and he makes cupcakes. And the guy is so freaking happy all the time. It's like, it's not absurd. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you reset, relaunch, redefine, reignite all the good re's and making it sound like it's a good thing? And I think that's why I say it's your movement, because you're really opening up the awareness that it isn't a bad thing. In fact, look for the opportunities to relaunch, where you had said on another podcast you were on about talking like, I don't want to be known as a relaunch queen. I want to be known as a relaunch energy queen. I'm like, oh my God, I love that. So can you talk about your process? Because I think it's so genuinely transformative when people really get the power of what you're talking about. Look what happened with you and Diana Ross in a concert hall full of people. Amazing.
Amazing. And here's something that I want to laugh about with you is that I was called the relaunch queen numerous times. And you know what happens when you're called that? It's like you keep getting from the universe more relaunches, more and more and more and more. And finally, I had to like surrender to the fact that, hey, I don't need any more of those. I've had plenty of significant relaunches, but the energy, the part that when I get in front of people or I'm talking to somebody or I'm coaching them and they're saying, oh my God, I can feel the energy. Well, I have a process. I have a process that I go through. And the reason I was at that Diana Ross concert was it was my mom's favorite singer ever. Blasting through our house. We had those songs on, right? Ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no river low. And I mean, I was just like, she had never met her. And that was like, my intention was absolutely to make that happen. And at every angle, I didn't know the how. But I was so convicted to the end result that I knew my what was, this woman is going to meet her. And here's the problem. Diana Ross doesn't do backstage anymore. She does not meet and greet. That is not what she wants to do. So I thought I got to work on this and it's got to happen a different way. So the only way I could do it was a process that is part of a bigger framework. The framework is 3HQ, and that's the head, the heart, the higher self. We are so stuck in our head. We're tuning out left and right to, anything that we're so focused on, like steps, procedures, systems, that we're missing some of the biggest clues for success. They're right there. And then you look at the heart and you think about like, what is it? What's blocking you? Emotional blocks that are holding you back. And the higher self is really your best version of you. That's what that really is. And you and I talked about this with the G zone. And the G zone is all around your growth zone. You can't grow your business if you're not growing yourself. You can't put out there the gratitude, your genius zone, all of these great zones in the G zone. And so what I did was, everyone wants a quick fix, right? Everyone's like, if I start to tell them, okay, it's a 6-month program and we're going to be doing all this great stuff to elevate and scale your business, you're like, but what can I do right now? And so part of the first step to 3HQing your life is to tune in. And it's a tune in process. It's a 4-step process that literally gets you working out of your head and leveraging the benefits, tapping into your heart so that you can elevate and access your higher energy. Einstein has the greatest quote that said, you cannot solve a problem at the level it was created. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When I first heard that, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Like, what? It didn't even make sense to me. I'm like, what does that mean? But when you put it to that everything is energy, everything has a vibration, everything is going to be reflective of how you are vibrating, you start to realize the importance of vibrating at a higher level, creating a higher level of energy. And then the real question is, that's great, but how do you do it? And how do you do it quickly? Well, as you heard, I needed to act fast when I was at that concert. I couldn't wait like months to have this thing work for me. So if you're willing right now, are you willing to be coached?
I'm always game. 100%.
Four-step process. Step 1, what is the biggest challenge? And again, this is the tune-in process to elevate your energy. That's all I'm trying to do so that you can have bigger success, so that you can vibrationally connect with a higher level of success, whatever you're trying to do. So step one is, what is your biggest challenge right now? or an intention that you're putting out to the universe? What's personal, professional, whatever you want? What would that be?
I would say stepping into a very big new opportunity that I have it's new. I haven't announced it officially yet, but it's definitely a new path for business.
Okay. And I love new path because if you think about the paths that you're about to pick are going to be so critical for your success, right? To get you to the place of the journey. So that's step one. You have a new opportunity and you want to be making sure that the paths you're picking are going to be the right ones to get you to the end journey of what you're really trying to create. Step two is where we change the channel. We change the channel because as you're trying to pull in exactly what you need to be doing, you can't be operating at the level you're operating right now. We need to elevate you because you're creating something new that's going to be absolutely at a high level of intensity and energetically going to be something totally different, right?
Yeah.
So now what I want you to be thinking about is what song, if you were to hear it right now, elevates you because sound has been proven from a neuroscience perspective to light up different areas in your brain. So what we're trying to do is elevate you through a song. What is your go-to song that really, when you hear it, it lights you up?
I love Michael Bublé's rendition of that. I'm feeling good.
Okay. So now I want you to close your eyes, have it go through your body, head to toe, move your body, changing your state. And we have to do it for 20 seconds. 20 seconds to take it through your body, up and down, move your body. Patty, move your head, move your feet, get in. Okay. I think you need to turn it up, girl. Turn it up. Okay. So now she's moving, she's grooving. If you're not hearing this, or you're not seeing it, you're only hearing this, she's got it. So now she's taken it into her. She's elevated herself. All right. And again, 20 seconds, that does something in our brains. It lights up different areas. So now I want you to go to step 3. And step 3 is all about creating that mini movie in your mind, the mini movie that's going to make a visualization. You are the director of this movie. And I want you to see yourself with this new opportunity, and you've just crushed it. You are so successful in what you're doing. You are impacting so many people. You are now at that point of legacy, of really putting something out there. I want you to tune in again to the song. Think of that. Think of this image, the image of what you're seeing, and you are in it. And I want you to, again, neuroscience, there is a color. What color are you seeing? That is definitely in this image.
Purple.
I want you to 10x that purple, intensify it, make it so vibrant. Now you're going to attach an emotion to that, the emotion behind it. And the last step in step 3 is you are going to capture the moment by taking an internal picture. And the way we're going to take this and anchor this in with this emotional, like this whole feeling, is I'm going to have you with the word click. You're going to open and close your eyes very quickly, not focused on the outside world, but focused on the inside. You're going to do it 3 times. Click, open and close, click, open and close, click, open and close. All right, Patty, tune back in. You now have this image. You have 3 images of you. It's like your own internal photo album. All right. Can you see this very clearly? All right, file that away. You got one on top of the photo album. You are there. We're now moving into, you can open your eyes. Step 4. Step 4 is your micro action towards that step 3 mini movie, towards that image. Something that is so small, but it tells you, it energetically is creating forward momentum. You tune back into the song, and now what would be a micro action that would bring you towards your new opportunity and just crushing it? What could you do today, right now when we're done with this call, this podcast, this show, what could you do?
I had the intention to reach out to schedule a teleseminar, complete value for the audience I want to serve.
Okay. So it's the teleseminar, and you have somebody that you actually know could help you.
Yes.
So that is going to be done with an email, a text, whatever you're going to do.
Mhm.
You will tune back in. This song now will be completely attached to you crushing this opportunity. Every time you're about to go do something that is part of getting this new opportunity to fruition, you're going to go through the process again. Here's the thing, where it took us 2 to 3 minutes to go through it, you're going to eventually be able to do it in 60 seconds or less. It's just going to come to
Wow.
you. And people often ask, well, Hilary, if I'm by myself, can I put it on my phone? Can I put it on speakers? Absolutely. This song of, I'm feeling, you are going to continue to hear it, and it's going to be like a trigger for you to elevate your energy, to bring in what ultimately you're trying to do. And the trying part, Patty, is you can do this for everything. You can do it for a social media post. You can do it when you're looking at your finances. You can do it when you're going into negotiation, when you're bringing in a new team member. Tune in should be used every time you have a new calendar event. Before I came on this show, I tuned in. I elevated
Wow.
myself. So
So
there
it's
you go.
just, yeah, so it's this 4-step process, the 3HQ process that you go through for different any situation in your life where you want to show up as your highest self.
You got it. And the steps are, again, you have your challenge or your intention. Step 1. Step 2 is you change the channel by tuning into a song for 20 seconds. Step 3 is that micro movie in your mind where you highlight the color, highlight your emotion, and then instantaneously with the click, anchor it in. And then step 4 is the micro action.
I love it. Oh my God, so good. All of you can apply this for themselves now. How do you know? Because I can hear somebody saying, well, how do I know if I get it right? The overthinkers, right? How do I know if I get it right? How do I know if this is going to work for me? I know you have a quiz that you have available where it tells people areas on where they could focus. Is that
So
correct?
the quiz, okay, so first off, you can't tune in wrong if you follow
Okay.
the simple process. If you do the step 1, the step 2 of changing the channel with a song, 20 seconds, I'm telling you, I've seen, people go through this for health purposes. People have gone through, where they're having trouble, and they're like, oh my God, I've had 3 in vitros that haven't worked. How do I get myself? It's like, tune in, because you're getting your higher self, your wise woman inside of you is there wanting to connect with you, wanting to share what is that next step, right? Being stuck doesn't help you reach success. It
Yeah.
won't. And so this is something that we all can use. Now, as you said, 3HQ, head, heart, higher self. If you think of IQ in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it's all about intellect. In the 90s, it was all about EQ. How
Yeah.
emotionally connected are you? Today's world, we got to have all 3 working together. You've got to have your IQ, your head, you've got to have the EQ with your heart, and you've got to have that higher self component. And you don't have one without the others. They're all working together. So in order to find out where you are in your own process, you can go and take the quiz at therelaunch.com. And there is a quiz there. It will help you understand, oh my God, I've been so in my head. Oh my, and it will give you an actual indication of where you are in the other areas. And so then what you can do is start to think about how you can be tuning in throughout the day using your own pocket tool at any moment to be able to, again, raise your vibrational level, raise the energy so that you, law of resonance, what you're resonating with, you're leveling up. So when I said I tuned in to come on your show, I said my goal is to help people understand that tune in process, the 4 steps, can be used at any part of the day, and everybody can master it. And so the first step of kind of understanding the whole process is what we just went over. And then take it to the next step, take the quiz, and then you're immediately put into, wow, here's where I could start focusing the tune in process. Because tune in, step 1 is head. If you really think about that whole like,
Yes.
oh, what's my challenge? What's holding me back? Step 2 is the higher self. You're elevating your energy. Step 3 is about that emotional connection, emotionally charging up that image. And step 4 with the micro action goes back to the head,
I
because
love that.
everything is an ever loop. Everything is
Yeah.
infinity.
Oh my God, so good. So good. And can you just kind of explain what, just to paint the picture, because I always go to people have different modalities and things that they do. What have you seen is possible when people understand how to apply this tune-in process and all the other things that you teach? What's possible so people can see it?
Okay. So as you mentioned, I'll give you a great example with the lawyer,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
just had an attorney come to me, high profile, high powered gal who really felt like her passion, her higher self was calling to her to do something in the writing space. So, in working together, in tuning in to using 3HQ, she left her corporate job. She ended up becoming a writer, a youth author. Her
Oh,
book, her first book came out, and now it's being made into a movie. All of these things that she's like, I never dreamed this could
my
happen. And
gosh.
now she's on to her second book. Another person was trying to figure out how to use this to really connect to what she is supposed to be doing out there in the world. And
Mhm.
she was a C-suite executive. She got laid off, felt like her world as she knew it was gone because she was in high tech, and she's like, nobody's hiring anyone in high tech. What am I
Right.
going to do, especially at her level? And she said, there's no jobs. And I said, you only need one job. Let's tune in. She tuned in multiple times in the day. 6 weeks later, she didn't just get a new job, she got her dream job.
Hmm.
Everything down to exactly where she wanted to be and how much time she was going to be traveling. And I mean, that's the advantage. Scaling businesses. I've had people come to me where they're stuck at 250,000. They can't get past that. They've been there. It just doesn't seem like I can ever grow my business. They tune in, they learn 3HQ, the process, and next thing you know, they're breaking through 7 figures. I mean, these
That's
are not
amazing.
just one-off examples. It's like, I have
Over and
so
over.
many. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, I pinch myself because I'm like, ah, it worked for me. Yes, absolutely. And I have example after example of miracles that have happened through Tune In with my own life. After the divorce, I'm now with my absolute like dream man. I've got, 2 stepkids, 3 of my own. We totally moved states, and it's all tuning in process. It's all 3HQ. And now I am literally CEO of the Relaunch Co. And it is my dream company. And so people say, oh my gosh, you're here, you're there. Yeah. And I love it. I'm passionate about helping people. And I say, people are always like, oh, what's the mission? What's the mission? You know what the mission is? I think everybody can learn this and elevate themselves and have their own success stories. And that's who I
Huge.
want. I want to share their stories.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, this purpose-driven work. I mean,
Yeah,
and it's not even work. It's like your mission, your purpose, your dharma, the
totally.
reason for being, all of the things. So I love it.
100%.
It's so good. Okay. More chills, more chills. I don't think I've ever gotten chills as much in any podcast episode as today. It's just been so
Ah,
amazing, seriously.
thank you.
But I want to transition to the fast 5 questions. I'm really curious how you will answer these because I find you very intriguing, Madame. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
sitting here. I'm ready. I'm
Question
tuning in.
number
Hold on. Hold on. Let me tune in really fast to
for
my
60
song. Okay.
seconds.
I got it.
Got it. We're good to go, people. Okay. Number 1, what would make this a great year for you?
Mm. If I could end up impacting through either podcasts, the TV shows I'm on, the work I do, 1 million souls.
Mm, Love
And I
that.
believe I'm on track halfway through the year. That was one of my, I call them scazy goals, scary and crazy goals at the beginning of the year. I'm on track.
I love it. What would you consider your greatest achievement so far?
Kids. The fact that I'm still standing here. Yes, I'm so proud of them, but I'm also I'm super proud because my whole methodology of 3HQ, they are living it. And what we're about to come out with at the end of summer is the same tune in 3HQ process, but for college kids. And
Oh, the world needs that. Oh,
it
the
was
world
based
needs
on,
that. That's
yeah,
brilliant.
based on kind of their input around it. So super
Do you
proud
know
of
how
that.
much do you know how much you could do on TikTok with that just as a total segue? That would go viral. Viral. Because
I'm
I
so excited. I've got the greatest
yeah,
intern. Shout out to Julia. I mean, this is it. I mean, I just got massive chills right now. I got
yeah,
my
yeah.
hair on my arms, standing up.
Mhm. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so good.
it's pretty exciting.
All right, number 3. When was the last time you felt like a real rock star?
Ooh, okay. I literally can say I believe in being a financial freedom CEO. Get off the struggle bus. And last week I was in New York, and New York has an energy. And I was staying at the Virgin Hotel, brand new hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I did not book this fancy room. They upgraded me, and I get to my room, and I know that I'm doing the last day of a launch from this hotel room the next day. I open
Wow.
up the curtains, these blinds, and there right in front of me is the Empire State Building, and it is
Wow.
lit up because Sex and the City is launching again, and it
Yep.
is lit up with the purple pink top. And I thought, I've arrived.
Like this,
I'm
this
like,
I really feel like a rock star.
does it get any better than this? I literally
Yes.
put my arms up, and there's a couple, videos. I do tuning in like all the time videos of me dancing around and what song am I tuning into today? And I literally was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is my rock star moment." And I was so excited to do the launch the next day from this room, and I positioned myself. I had to move the bed over, I had to move all the so that the Empire State Building was behind me.
That sounds so awesome. Like just really, that's amazing.
So
Okay.
fun.
What is one thing that you wish somebody would have told you when you first started your business?
Mm. I wish I knew that all of the things that I thought were so awful, so negative. Oh my God, I'm a failure. I'm never going to recover from this. I wish I had known that each and every one of those I would end up using in my career, as in today. And
Yeah.
I leverage all of those times because they taught me something about about business, about how to become successful. And the people that have only had these, success, let me tell you, I don't learn from them. I want to hear, like, help me circumnavigate the hard times to get
Yeah.
to where I need to go.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Last question, Hilary. After all is said and done, what do you want your legacy to be?
I would like Relaunch to become a universal word in people's lives where they're saying, I'm relaunching right now.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, and they can have grace about it. That all of these, you don't have to take the negative, that you can sit there and say, you know what? This is all part of my own journey. And I have this amazing tool that this woman by the name of Hilary DeCesare put out there, and I'm going to tune into success.
It's so amazing for so many reasons, because it really is, instead of it looking at it like, oh, and the fear and the worry and the doubt, you're basically putting the kibosh on it and saying, no, choose to look at it in a new way of being, higher self. I absolutely love it. I think it's so huge. All right. You're in toasty Boulder, Colorado. Tell people how to
Especially today right now.
You did. I seriously, couldn't even tell that you're in 1,000, like it's 300
Well,
degrees in
everyone,
your office.
my air conditioning went out. So I have to tell you, I am a tad hot. If you're watching this on video, you can
You
see
look
that
great.
there might be sweat dripping down my gosh, my mission again, everybody. You're going to hear this.
Such
No matter what
such
you're going
poise.
through.
I would
Oh,
literally be with that like 80s
whew.
headband, Olivia Newton's headband,
Oh, that's
towel.
another one of my favorite songs. I mean, come on.
Let's get
So
physical.
many. Yes, so many good ones. Xanadu. We got Grace. We got like, come on.
We're such Gen Xers, such Gen Xers. Okay, how do people get in touch with you, Hilary, to find out more about your movement?
Ooh, and thank you for continuing to say it truly is a movement. And the
Yes.
more you share it with others, the more you share it with your family, your kids, everybody should be doing this. You can go to the relaunch.com and you can see the quiz right there, the 3HQ quiz. That gets you into and understanding the first step. And you can also check out my podcast, the Relaunch podcast. And I'm so excited to have you on my show as well.
Alrighty.
And then last but not least, I got a book and it gives you a lot of the processes that can really change the way you look at your life and your future.
Oh, my dear friend, you're such a rock star. Thank you so much for being on the show. So appreciate you. So looking forward to see what transpires and evolves as you are like, this is big. This is a big movement, snowball effect. You're right there. Keep going, sister, because it's going to be
Patty,
grand.
thank you.
Thank you.